All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. It is the 30th of August. September is almost here. It's actually pretty cold outside this morning, which is a welcome retreat from our 90 degree usual Monday recording.
Absolutely.
Temps. Finally, Diego and Aaron won't be sweating in the studio.
Nope. Dave's in jeans now. You brushed them off.
I wore a coat to come into the studio today. So welcome. We have a fair amount of matches to talk about. Not a ton of time to do it because we are heading upstairs shortly to open up for our watch parties. So with that being said, we will open up with our first watch party of the day. Tottenham hosting AFC Bournemouth at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. Well, first of all, guys, how are we doing today?
Oh, doing good.
Man.
Doing good.
Ready to go.
Sorry, I was
Excited.
like in such a
3-day weekend.
I was feeling the zone. Oh yeah, we have Labor Day this weekend for our American listeners and watchers. I don't think. I mean, even if they do, I'm sure it's not the same weekend in other countries. But
No.
I would assume most other countries, either have Labor Day or something similar, or
Employee appreciation.
I was going to say they just get their employees proper rights.
Exactly.
And,
They just
full month off. Yeah.
full month off.
Exactly.
Family leave, paternity leave, the whole nine, and we're slaving away
I don't know how
here.
many fires have happened across the world and these dates. So
All right, so let's jump into it. We are on the heels of, for most of the Premier League, midweek cup matches. So Bournemouth on short rest will be traveling to London to play Tottenham. Tottenham under Thomas Frank has looked incredibly good. A very pleasant surprise, and even the Arsenal fan here has acknowledged that Tottenham is looking good this year. So I'm just going to bring up the Premier League table.
I will say one thing though, that I will be a Bournemouth fan today.
Perfect.
yeah.
As will I.
Yeah.
So with the current results, Tottenham's currently sit third, and that is because in the 80th minute here, Chelsea are currently leading 2-0. So they, as it stands right now, are leading the Premier League with Arsenal and Tottenham right behind them. And honestly, it's pretty cool. You have 3 London teams taking up the top 3 spots here.
Yeah.
But Tottenham has looked, like I said, really well. They've yet to concede a goal. Thomas Frank has done all the things that seemingly Ange couldn't do. Although I will say, in Ange's first year, they started on fire as well, and everyone was Ange in until everyone was Ange out. So I think Tottenham is the better team here. Bournemouth again had short rest. They lost in the cup to Brentford on what was that, Tuesday.
Yeah.
So then, the short week and the travel to London, it'll be interesting to see, obviously both of these teams, well, all these teams really, they want to go out with a victory before the international break, which comes up next week. Diego, what do you think? Tottenham Bournemouth today? You don't have to give scores yet. Just, thoughts on the match.
It's going to be an extremely difficult game. So definitely Tottenham is winning this one. It is just too much. Right now, like you said, they're on fire. They're not going to stop anytime soon. And Bournemouth did show some holes in the last game.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that I kind of didn't like too much.
Yeah,
I think short week is not going to help.
Right. I think it's still going to continue to take time for the new players at Bournemouth to continue gelling, to kind of feel more comfortable under Iraola's system. And it's one of those things where you almost hope that, obviously you want the best players you can, but you almost hope that Bournemouth doesn't have a lot of players getting picked into their national teams, so they can stay with the club and continue to train.
And that's going to be difficult. But you know what? The one thing I do have to say for Bournemouth, these are the games where nobody is giving them a chance, where they come out and they actually get those crazy results. The Liverpool
especially
game
and especially away from home, they are not a squad that seems to be scared off very easily. So
they have the tendency, and right now Tottenham is one of the teams to beat. So after the earthquake passes, we will.
Was that the train? I don't know what that was.
We'll give them a chance. I don't know. Again, it might, to me, it's a Tottenham win, but this is one of those signature punching above your weight.
Yep.
Bournemouth game. So we'll see what happens.
So, Aaron, obviously, you are an Arsenal fan. Other than Tottenham fans, I
That's right. He just said
expect
it.
that nobody.
For the next 2 hours, he's at Bournemouth.
Yes.
Yes.
But
We'll go back to that.
nobody other than Tottenham fans, nobody knows more about Tottenham than Arsenal fans. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, what are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, they've been playing well. I would hope for a bad game, but you're playing Tottenham at home. Again, they're on fire. Their fans are going to be in it. Their fans haven't had much to be happy about lately, so they're going to be pretty loud. I would like to see them struggle. I'm hoping Bournemouth turns, like you said, that Liverpool game. They turn it around.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see some sad faces in the stadiums, but I don't think it's going to happen today.
All right. Well, elsewhere, Man United, Burnley. So Manchester United, as we were all joking in the Discord and we were following along with their cup match, they lost in penalties to lowly Grimsby Town, a 4th division, I believe, team. Man United was trailing 2-0 on what was that? That was Wednesday?
Yeah.
Trailing 2-0 on Wednesday. 2 late goals to bring some respectability back. And then in I believe it was the 13th round of penalties, Grimsby took over, and 2 new players from Man United were the 2 misses. We went through the goalkeepers. It was actually a very fun match to watch, especially the shootout. And really, that's what the cups are about. But on the heels of that, now United hosting Burnley, a newly promoted side. Where do we see United going here?
I think United finally pulls a win out. I think that's what's going to happen. No?
Leave it down, I don't think, man. This is the problem. We are questioning this match not to be a routing in favor of Man United.
Yeah.
That is the level that we've got in here. We reserve our decision. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, really tough right now for Man U. And it's not even looking any better. Like you said, they just lost to a fourth division.
Yeah. I mean, as far as
a bunch of guys who meets up on WhatsApp to figure out when they're going to do their training.
Yeah,
exactly.
the bomb squad as they're being called. And do we have any final news while we're talking about it on Garnacho?
No, I didn't see anything. I mean, me personally, I didn't see anything.
Chelsea agreed deal with Man United for signing of Alejandro Garnacho. So it does look like one member of the bomb squad is out. Lots of news around Kobe Mainu as well.
Holjun too. I think they're trying to
Rasmus
loan out.
Højlund is rumored to be going to Italy, I believe. I think, not that he factors in any part of this, but I think Betis and United have reached an agreement on Anthony.
No.
So all these things surrounding Man United, least of which is their poor results on the field. They are actually winless so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I actually think getting relegated might not be that bad of a thing for United, because the money situation for them coming up next year and onwards, when it comes to regulations and things like that, it's just gonna drag them even deeper down that hole. And that's
I mean, I don't know where they go from here in terms of finance. We hear all this stuff about PSR and how the squads needs to do this, to do that, to sell, to buy, and all that. And United is getting pennies on the dollar for the players they're selling, and they go out and spend $200 million every year. And this year they're not in Europe at all.
I wish I had that kind of money.
And so do I. We wouldn't be doing
Listen,
this
if they want to
podcast.
burn money, if they want to burn money on no players, like,
Yeah,
I'm sitting right here.
there you go.
Call me up.
just give me a holler. Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's the thing, like you said.
I'll keep the bench nice and warm.
And again, I've been reading about this situation, the PSR, because I want to understand it. And the way I see it and understand it, the hammer is coming down in Man U very, very soon.
Well, and it's gonna get worse for them because again, this year they have no UEFA competition to get any of that prize
So no
money.
back.
And realistically, based on again small sample size, but based on what we've seen so far this year, they're not getting into Europe again.
Oh no.
So, where do these players go? And
Oh, I have an idea.
Oh boy.
No. They can do what the Baltimore Ravens started doing and start renting out the stadium.
Yeah. You're renting it out for everything and anything.
I don't know if you guys heard that or not, though.
You
Yeah.
just make some money, so the hustle is the hustle.
Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens are renting out their stadium during the off season for anybody that wants to do stuff, including they were doing fantasy football league
Yeah.
day. They brought everybody in, and
Get all this royalty to start getting pickup
If-
games going on.
If Old Trafford wasn't already falling apart, they probably would have done that. But so yeah, I think United takes this one. I think that as poorly as they've been playing, they do have quality players. They have class there. And although, surprises happen every week, I think the gap from the promoted teams from the championship to the Premier League, I do think it's a little bit too much. And I think, we've talked about, the kiss of death of getting the vote of confidence from the board. But, Amorim has been very cryptic lately. Is he in? Is he out? Again, with an international break, that's usually the time to start making moves in terms of a coaching staff. If you are going to make that move,
and they're not even trying.
I don't know. I mean, listen,
he
Mourinho,
had his little Pokemon book open in one of the last games, right?
Jose Mourinho is available. He was recently fired at Fenerbahce. So
Is he coming back?
I
Oh,
don't-
man.
who knows?
Oh, man.
I don't know. Am I making 1 + 1 = 3? I don't know, but Jose Mourinho is available for anyone that wants them.
That's jumping out of the frying pan into a dumpster fire. Though. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
shit, dude.
I don't disagree. My gut tells me that if they are going to let Amorim go, they wait at least until the October international window. I think it's a little too soon to pull that trigger, but
When they're back to have no chance.
I don't know. I mean, with Jim Ratcliffe, who knows what's going on?
I'm sure we'll see after today. If Burnley takes a win, I feel like we're going to see some flames start.
Yeah, I agree.
It will be absolutely true.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have here on the weekend within
Brighton
the
City.
Premier League? Yeah. So tomorrow morning, one of our watch parties, Brighton hosting Man City.
Mm-hmm.
That factors to be a pretty good match as well. Brighton has been a little bit up and down, although they absolutely destroyed. Who did they play? Was it Oxford United? I think in the cup. I think it was 6-0 final. Man City has looked good, but had up and down results. Obviously, Tottenham took it to them last week. But you have, again, Man City for the first time in probably 7 or 8 years with a real chip on their shoulder. And all of their new players are starting to gel together. Tijani Reinders, who I watched extensively in his days at Milan, really, really looks the part. And, to see him, in the absence of Kevin De Bruyne, to see him kind of, jiving along with Erling Haaland and the rest of those stars.
It's nice.
I think, again, everyone said Haaland had a bad year last year. He still scored 20-something goals. I mean, he could be right back in that 30-35 range again easily.
Yep.
So that'll
the
be,
situation right here, right now is Brighton.
yeah. Well, what do you guys
Too
think?
inconsistent. I mean, me personally, I want to use my powers for good. I think they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose badly to Man City. No, Man City just looks better right now.
Yeah.
Brighton creates opportunities. They have a good team. They actually play really well. It's just they're not finishing.
Yeah.
That's a thing that is happening. How many last couple of games they have had and I'm talking clear opportunities underneath the goal, no goalie, one defender, some stuff like those type of situations. And they're somehow managing to miss.
Yeah,
those
I mean,
opportunities.
I've been saying this for years, both about Brighton with our buddy Mike, as well as our own shortcomings with Bournemouth. You pay for goals. The big transfer fees are always for strikers. When you are a mid-table club without the big budget of a United, a Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, all that stuff. You can't afford these $50-60 million strikers that are going to get goals in buckets.
True.
You have to rely on, a Dom Solanke and hope that he comes good. And he did. And then what happened? He goes to Tottenham.
Yeah.
You
get sold.
and then, we brought in Evan Nielsen at 35 million, which obviously it broke the transfer record for Bournemouth, but
it was nothing.
but it's not anything compared to what clubs are playing for Nkunku and Erling Haaland and
I'd say Šeško, but I don't think he's done anything yet.
Why his name Jokic, like all these guys are you're paying for the production. There are and obviously the statistics and metrics have come a long way just in the last few years with expected goals and tackles won and this and that and all these different things that are going on. But at the end of the day, it's goals,
You get what you pay.
assists, and shutouts. That's that's what we have for stats.
Those are the real metrics.
Yeah.
to
So
back
so
up
when
the-
you see someone scoring goals, when you look on FotMob or you look on the scores and you see his name with 8.5 score and 2 little balls because he scored 2 goals, that's going to raise his value, and that's what you're paying for. So it's very difficult for a club like Brighton to bring in someone with numbers. For Brighton, for Bournemouth, for who else is for Brentford, these surprising squad. Look at Brentford.
Yeah.
They had Ivan Toney. Did well,
immediately gone.
took the bag.
Yeah,
They had Mbeumo,
took the bag.
went well, took the bag, went to
That is
United.
very true, though.
You look at the guys at Wolves.
Yeah.
Raul Jimenez, Cunha. You have all these guys. They show well, but they're for these mid-table clubs to get these players, there has to be something wrong with them. Whether it's
I mean, I think we've seen the days of Jamie Vardy gone.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's no players that are specifically, at least to the middle tables or the lower tables. There's no player that's specifically like committed to them.
Yeah, I
and that
think-
wants to be there for the full time and try to make a story for themselves at that
and
club.
I mean, Vardy's a great example, but I think his biggest issue was he was already, in his prime, slowly past his prime when he had his coming of age. I think he was 27, 28 already when they won the league. So,
Yes, but the big teams did come calling though. After when Leicester won, Arsenal put a bid in for him, United put a bid for him, and he didn't want to go.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go.
I mean, for his standpoint, you also wonder, does he just want to play?
Yeah.
You see these guys. Look at I'm just trying to think of
Well,
someone,
again,
but
you saw it with
you want-
Norgard and Arsenal.
Right.
Their captain went to play for Arsenal, who is on the bench now.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. You want
A
minutes.
lot of the times is that you go for the bag, but you forget to fail to see the fact that team you're going to is not going to utilize you like
Yeah.
the team
Mhm.
you were at.
On the flip side of that, though, these players get to this level to some extent because of their ego, and they're always going to bet on themselves.
Yep.
So,
And they also want the attempt to play for a team that has more to play for.
right. And
That's the
you're
thing.
you're never going to say, like, if I'm coming through the Bournemouth Academy and Arsenal comes calling,
You're not going to tell them.
I'm not going to worry that, you know what, maybe I might not be successful here. No, I've
will
made it this far. I
succeed.
know, like,
There's a
whether
reason they're
you-
calling me.
right.
There's a
whether-
reason.
And whether you are or you're not, you to be a player at that level, you have to be delusional in terms of like,
When it comes
I-
to yourself,
I
am the best. I will be
you're
better
so
than you.
confident in your skill and the work you put in. Whether it happens or not, and that's why you look at it in terms of injuries and subs. Like, these players need to be, this is regardless of sport, whether it's American football, whether it's basketball, whether it's soccer. These guys need to be protected from themselves. They'll be walking around with a torn ACL, still thinking they can finish the match.
They'll be like, "I'm good." Yeah.
It's not. Tyler Adams is a great example of it. He
Plays through injuries.
bad back, bad hamstrings, the whole nine, and he's still going through tackles. He's trying to play 90 minutes. He's yelling, barking at people to keep him on the field.
Yep.
You have to protect these players from themselves. So, I do think all those factors to go, because we are totally off the rails now. To go back to the Brighton Man City stuff, I think it becomes difficult to bring in and keep these
Exactly.
forwards that are scoring goals and being productive. To answer your question about, yes, they're missing golden chances in the attacking third, but That's why they're mid-table, not a Big Six or not a perennial Champions League contender.
Nah, you're right.
So
And until that happens, until they can figure it out somehow to make Butoma that type of player and keep him.
So Mike and
It will be a
I was
thing.
having this conversation with Mike privately yesterday. For those of you that don't know, Mike is the founder and leader of our Seagulls on Hudson, the Brighton and Hove Albion supporters club that has their home here in Newburgh. And he was saying that his guess is that Matoma might be gone next year. And again, he's going to be 28, 29. I think for most clubs, that is a touch too old to just now be bringing in.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Matoma. I think he is one of the most underrated and most technical players in the entire Premier League.
Absolutely.
And he does not, and maybe it's a small market thing, but he does not seem to get the recognition that I feel he deserves.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, moving on. I guess we have a slightly larger match coming up tomorrow. Arsenal at Anfield.
We can say that it's a little important.
11:30 a.m. We will be live here in the tap room. It's a big one.
Yes.
As it
Huge.
stands right now, just so you know, the match did just go final. So Chelsea is on top of the table. So it is second place Arsenal visiting fourth place Liverpool. Both teams undefeated. Liverpool has defensively not looked great. Obviously, that first match against Bournemouth, they conceded 2 goals. That was in the absence of Ryan Gravenberch, who kind of led the squad defensively in that kind of Rodri role that Man City does, and just is a captain of that defensive unit right in front of Virgil and with that group. So you have Liverpool. Again, looking to keep their streak going. Obviously, they're defending champions. They are at home. Anfield is an absolute fortress. You have I want to say up and coming. Obviously, Arsenal has done very well the last couple of years, but they are looking to break through and win a title, whether it's the league, whether it's a cup, whether it's they were was it semifinals last year in Champions League.
Yeah.
So they were a semifinalist.
Yeah, they lost to PSG.
So they are. It's funny. We have this conversation offline all the time. Arsenal, I think in the last few years have been very successful, but this is the time now.
They have to take the next step.
Put up or shut up, and
this is the game to do it.
This is certainly a litmus test to do that.
Absolutely.
Let's see. So yeah, tomorrow 11:30. The some of the odds makers have Liverpool as a 42% win probability, Arsenal at 31, and 27% draw. Diego, what are your thoughts? Arsenal, Liverpool.
Hey, man, again, I don't want to use my powers for evil. No, it's going to be a super, super tight match. They are both playing incredible. Liverpool, like you said, a little defensive problems, but it seems not to be affecting them because they're just playing the shootout style game.
Yeah,
you scored 3.
I mean, it did take 8 minutes of extra, 11 minutes of extra time to score that third goal.
LIV extra times.
Yeah.
On the little placard.
I will say,
the Liverpool wins.
We talk about the Liverpool defensive issues, but Arsenal's got some attacking injury issues as well, just like they seem to every year.
That's what
Kai Havertz and Bukayo Saka are both going to be out injured.
Saka being out will affect them a bit. However, it gives the backup players a good chance to get into that squad, and we have good depth. So Saka luckily is not going to be out for as long as they thought. Probably come back after the international break, which is good. Havertz, we don't really know the extent. He had a minor surgery on it. Could be good to go in a couple weeks. Again, last year we had 27 injuries. Like I don't know how hard they run them in training. What's going on? I don't know if they're just playing hard and they don't watch themselves. I don't know, but I think the game's going to be good. If Arsenal can tie into their into Liverpool's defensive issues, I think it could be a good game for Arsenal. However, again, you're talking about Liverpool at home. it's a very hard matchup.
It's a really
You know, I don't want to talk too much about it, but Arteta stated if you've ever seen the documentary they did with Arsenal, he states that Anfield is one of the hardest places to play at because when you step onto that pitch, the people are so close, they're so loud, it almost becomes a fog, and you've got to shake the fog off to get through it. So Liverpool at home is always going to be one of those, like, it's going to make you sweat.
Do you think Eze starts? Most of the pundits have Eze right into the starting lineup.
Yeah. No.
have to.
I think he comes in and he tries to put out as much as he freaking can.
Yeah, and well, no, that's the thing that you were saying about the injuries with Arsenal.
Yeah.
That was one of our example teams when we were talking about overusing the players.
Yeah.
You know, because they had so many injuries, and it was a lot of that. They loaded. You know,
No, like Arsenal this year have the replacements.
Oh,
Like
that's right. And no Odegaard either.
Neri re-signed with us. He had a chance to go anywhere he wanted. He was insane last year as a young guy coming in, and he's like, "No, I want a chance to break into this squad. I'm going to show you." And he re-signed with us.
Yeah.
And we brought back Miles Lewis-Skelly. All these people re-signing.
The walking yellow card.
Yeah, listen, he'll get his yellow card, but he'll make him pay
play
for
the
it.
game too.
Yeah.
He'll grind that shit out.
Yeah, and I forgot that shoulder injury to Odegaard, so he will also be out, I believe, right?
And he's actually out for a little while. From what
Yeah,
read.
I haven't.
Maybe like
You know,
a
let me
couple- 3 to 4
see.
weeks from what I see.
Yeah, the only other issue I see in this game is the ref.
Oh, but
It's
that's
the same ref that gave Rice the red card for tapping the ball away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, rules are rules.
Listen, rules are rules, but yet, you're
Yeah.
seeing players hold on to the ball and all this, and they're not getting the same treatment. So
Speaking of rules are rules, the penalty and what constitutes as a support hand, it's driving me freaking insane.
how about that Arsenal game where the guy's hand came down on the ball?
And no,
How,
he was.
how
he was,
dare you say anything about Bournemouth? That was Marco Sinisi of Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth, that's what it was.
He was supporting himself on the ball.
No, that was
The ball was
listen. Objectively, that was a terrible.
insane.
Again, live, it didn't look. I mean, it didn't look great, but it didn't look awful on the replays. It was abundantly clear, and I was.
And that's the thing. That call is becoming so common now.
Well, and the funny thing is, last year there was in the Bournemouth Arsenal match there was a similar play. I believe it was a bad back pass from Odegaard, and Evan Nielsen was running down the ball with a center back, and it was a similar position on the field, and it was deemed a red card for denial of a goal scoring opportunity.
Mhm.
And Bournemouth went on to beat Arsenal in that match. I think it was was a 2-0 victory. I can't remember now, but it was certainly a factor. So
But yeah, refereeing just needs to be tightened up a little bit.
yes,
And all the technology that we have. I mean, especially because VAR, like VAR, it was supposed to be the end all be all equalizer to make things fair because you can literally watch some play from 17 different angles, sped up and slow down. And it just has added to the controversy.
Listen, if there's any conspiracy that I ever believe in, it's that a lot of sports are scripted in a little bit of a ways.
well,
behind
and you know what? It's also I think it's very difficult to not have some sort of implicit bias when you're officiating.
Mhm.
First of all, in my opinion, these officials, regardless of sport, are not paid enough.
Yeah.
The fact that a lot of these guys still have other jobs,
And have to have those.
yeah,
actually, they have to have them.
and it's a cyclical thing though. So we don't pay the refs enough. They're not getting the full training that they probably need, whether it's physical, whether it's
Technically,
video sessions, whether it's all that comes along with it. So maybe they don't do an incredible job. They're getting abused by players, fans, the whole nine. What part of that makes someone want to become an official? Right? Like, I mean, we deal with it at the youth level here locally.
absolutely.
Oh, of course.
You have parents of 9 and 10-year-olds
Little league umpires are the
screaming at,
war.
teenagers just trying to make, like $10 a game,
Yeah.
just helping out.
Volunteering.
And they're getting blasted by, these has been, parents that it's ridiculous.
Yes.
And we wonder why we can't get any good referees at the top level.
Hey,
What are we doing?
I guess it takes a special kind of masochist to become a referee on
Yeah.
any sport, man. Like, for
I tell you what, though, you find the money to pay these people, and you'll get people that want to do it.
And no, and you know what? Very good point. You find the money, you pay them well, and then you can actually spec things and
Right.
request things, because now all you can ask them all they want, and they'll be like, well, if you don't like it, man, I don't have to
Yeah,
do this.
I will say I
No.
was very happy to see. I don't know if it's become standardized yet, but I'm noticing it more in the Premier League, where after VAR, they are going on the mic and saying,
Explaining
why
what's
the
happening.
and really that's all I want. Bad calls happen.
You tell me what your reasoning.
I've never been, players screw up too.
Yeah.
Why are we expecting referees to be completely perfect is beyond me.
Mm.
My problem is that there's very little to no accountability, and these referees are infallible to making mistake. And all it takes is, even if I disagree with the call and he says, hey, no, after looking on the replay, I felt it was this because of this. Okay. I might not agree with it, but at least there is that reasoning.
Yeah.
But we're left with, no, this is the call, and we move on. And I'm like, no, why? Like, why is that?
Why did you decide that this is the reasoning?
And for people like us who watch multiple leagues, every rule is interpreted differently in every league, so it makes it even more difficult.
I mean,
on
you had the Mallorca game where the guy went down. Is it a head injury?
Yeah.
Is it not? Do you blow a whistle? Do you not?
100%. 100%. What do
Okay.
we do there? If this was in England, it might have been different. If this was in Italy, it definitely is not a call.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
All right, we are actually running up against it. Let's get to our Saturday morning predictions. Let me bring up. Here we are. So after 2 weeks and a possible 30 points, Diego sits in the relegation zone with, is that 6 or 8? Oh my
6.
God, I'm losing him.
I think it's
5 points. Come on, big boy.
6 points for
Ah, damn it.
Diego, 9 for myself, and 10 for Aaron.
As
So
you can see, we're
let's
killing it with our predictions.
Let's quickly look over last week's predictions. So we had the games we had were St. Pauli hosting Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga. We had Fulham hosting Man United in the Premier League, as well as Newcastle United hosting Liverpool. So let's go with, we'll start with Diego, who's in last place. He had a 3-1 victory for St. Pauli with Fujita scoring. No points. That he had a 3-1 victory for Fulham with Mbeumo scoring. He had 0 points. He had a 3-0 victory for Liverpool with Mo Salah scoring. That netted him 1 point.
Damn it.
Now moving to me, I had Borussia Dortmund winning 2-0 with Karim Adeyemi scoring. That got me 0 points. I had a 1-1 draw between Fulham and United with Mbeumo scoring. That got me 3 points for the correct score. And I had Liverpool winning 3-1 with Mo Salah scoring, and that got me 1 point. Our current leader, Aaron, had Dortmund winning 3-1. Where am I? Where is Aaron? Dave,
Me in the middle.
Diego.
There.
There we go.
Okay.
He had Dortmund winning 2-0 with Job Bellingham scoring. That got him 0 points. So all three of us missed every possible point in that 3-3 St. Pauli Dortmund draw.
Bellingham at least threw a tantrum though.
There you go.
I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
He had a Fulham Man United draw 2-2 with Seshko scoring. That got him 1 point, and a Liverpool 2-1 victory with Mo Salah scoring for another point. So I did close the gap a little bit. He had a great first week, and back to reality this week. So this week we have 3 matches in 3 different leagues. We will start with the afternoon game today in La Liga. Real Madrid hosting Mallorca. Diego, what do you got?
Real Madrid, Mallorca. I actually have Madrid winning 2-0, though, to be honest with you. It's too much of a big difference in
You say that like we're surprised that
Yeah.
that Madrid should be beating Mallorca, but who's your goal scorer?
Mbappe.
Mbappe.
Yeah.
Aaron.
I've got. I think it's gonna be the same as the Barcelona game. I think it's gonna be 3-1 with Vinny scoring.
All right. I have Madrid 4-0 with Vinny scoring.
Yeesh.
Then we travel back home here. Tonight's game, NYCFC hosting DC United in the MLS. Our first MLS
Hey.
prediction.
Yes, sir.
Diego.
I have NYCFC 2, DC United 0. And as you reminded me, my Colombian guy Perea is going to be scoring at least
Andres
one goal.
Perea with the goal. Okay. Aaron.
I have NYCFC 2, DC United 0 with Martinez starring.
Man, I have a lot of goals in these games. I have NYCFC 3-1.
Yee.
Alonso Martinez with a goal.
Eish.
All right. Lastly, Liverpool and Arsenal. Diego, we'll go to you.
2-2.
With
And his name is Victor Gyökeres. That's my boy right there.
so
He's
you
scoring the
have
goal.
2-2 draw with the one and only
That'd be my boy.
All right, so Victor Gyökeres scoring in that 2-2 draw. I have Liverpool winning 2-1 with the most solid goal. And lastly, our gooner over here. What do we have?
True Arsenal fashion. They're going to go up 2-0. They're going to allow 2 comeback goals from Liverpool to make it 2-2.
2-2, baby. We know people.
Ekitike scoring for Liverpool.
All right, Ekitike
Oh,
with
I'm
the
too
goal.
nervous to name an Arsenal.
You know what?
player.
I've gotten this comment for years now, especially with starting the podcast. We have a lot of friends. I don't really partake, but we have a lot of friends upstairs and elsewhere that they'll do daily fantasy and gambling on games and stuff. And they always tell me, hey, you know so much, you know these people and this and that. Why don't you gamble on games? I'm like, dude, I have enough anxiety just watching the games.
Yeah,
I don't need to
there's
add.
No need to.
I don't need to
No
add
need
to
to.
it by putting money on it. So I completely am
I was
justified
always-
and agree with your sentiment about the prediction of the Arsenal.
I was always told to never bet on your favorite team because it's always going to lead to more emotion, more
Exactly.
frustration.
See, I
It just
I,
it just
yeah,
hurts.
if you win, it's elating, but if you lose, it's so
I was always told to bet against your own team, so you win no matter what.
Oh,
So on that note, we are really up against it. We're going to head upstairs. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Make sure you give us a follow, like, subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, get into the Discord, throw us an email if you want. Tell us
Yeah.
what games that you want us to make predictions for.
Follow us on Twitch.
Follow us on Twitch now.
oh yeah, breaking out
so-
of Twitch.
We are, let's see, about 2 months from today. Starting in November, we are going to start live streaming our shows on Twitch, probably YouTube as well. So please throw us out on there. If you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, you also get a free Twitch sub monthly. So we would be very grateful if you use that on us, please. And check out our website, www.cdunewburgh.com. I think I covered all bases that time.
You did extremely
I got it
well.
all. Whew.
And now remember, Dave, Aaron, and Diego.
It only took a year and a half for me to figure this out. So that's gonna do it for us. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you up in the tap room or Monday on the next show. Cheers.
Be well, guys. Cheers.